Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have here a very interesting person, the most interesting Filipina here in Chicago because she is our Consul General of the Philippine Consulate General, and she's no other than Consul General Gina Jamoralin. She's new here in Chicago. It's not really new, but fairly new because this she has been here for
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, this is my...
Help me welcome Consul General Jamoralin. Ganda po niya, oh. Well, we've been used to for the last 7 years, I think, 7 or more years. We've had male consuls general, and they were good. We like them, but many of you have talked to me that you have not met her, asking about who she is and how she is, and today we have decided to interview her on TV, and we're really happy that she acknowledged our invitation. And here's our Consul General.
Maraming salamat, Miss Veronica, and I'm happy to be here.
All right.
And it's
I'm
very,
happy that you're here too.
Yeah, and it's very appropriate because this month is still the Women's Month, right?
Correct.
So
Correct ka
women
dyan.
power.
Oh my God. Women's History Month. And that's this month of March. As a Consul General and as a woman at that, she has been in the service for many years. Can you please tell our viewing audience about your a little bit about your years as a foreign service officer, career person?
Okay, well, I think I joined the Foreign Service sometime in 1992, and my first posting was in Bucharest, Romania as Vice Consul. Then it was followed by a posting in Tokyo, Japan, where I was Deputy Chief of Mission, and I stayed there for 6 years. And then after that, I went to Honolulu, then as Consul General, where I stayed for 3.5 years. Finally here in Chicago, where when I came here last year, around January, in the middle of winter.
Konjan, all in all, how many years in service?
Maybe around more than 20 years.
Oh my God.
And that includes also my, staying in between in the home office, the headquarters in the DFA, where I also serve in many offices.
Oh yeah, because after a service in a certain post, you have to stay in the home office,
Yeah,
right?
for
Isn't
2
that
years.
2 years? That's how it is. That's how
Yes.
they do it. Foreign service din kinuha ko.
So you understand.
I took a foreign service in my undergrad, and because I also wanted to, I had dreams of traveling and dreams of working in consular or office or in the embassy. That was my dream. And then I ended up serving a foreigner, they say, instead of foreign service. Anyway, back to your profession or career as a foreign service person. So you have been appointed to some post in the United States, which is Hawaii and Chicago. Okay, and you've been here in Chicago for 1 year. How do you find Chicago and its people, Filipinos particularly?
Apart from the very good reputation that Chicago has, I like the city, its long history. I know a lot of the Filipinos here are very, very hardworking, very young, and I think
They're also old. Like us.
But I know the profile are really mostly professionals, and except that they are not all in Illinois, but around the other states in the Midwest where my jurisdiction is.
Yeah,
So I covered actually originally
Yeah, what
16
do you
states.
cover?
16 states, but with the opening of Philippine Consulate in Houston, three of my former jurisdiction, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and Oklahoma is now under Houston. So I was left with 12 states under me. Still a lot of,
It's still a lot. And
Yeah.
you do outreach programs to these states, right?
almost every month. Yeah.
So how often do you do that?
Well, of course, we pause during winter because that travel conditions are not really that very practical. So sometimes we have outreach twice a month or sometimes once a month, depending on the budget and depending on the availability of our partner organization in that state. So we
Is-
consult them first.
Oh, when you say outreach program, instead of the people coming to Chicago, I mean, who needs your services, you go to those places. That's
Yes.
outreach.
We call them consulate on wheels, and we give the services to those outside Illinois. Imagine if they have to fly or to drive to Chicago, they pay for their hotel and the airfare. We save them a lot of money.
And sometimes I hear that they come here, they fly, or they drive a long ways, and
Yeah.
they would find out that the consulate is closed.
Yeah,
So
so
I heard of that.
I would advise them before coming to the consulate to check our website, because on our website we always put there if we are on holiday. There is, it's on holiday. And by the way, we also observe holidays in the Philippines. So maybe here it's not a holiday, but we also observe Philippine holidays. So it's better to check
So
the
two
website.
holidays that the consulate is
Yeah, of
observing.
course, yes.
The U.S. and the Philippine holidays.
Yeah, but not all of the Philippine holidays we observe.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
we also have a limit.
Okay, that's why sometimes we are calling and you're closed. So it
Yeah.
could be Philippine holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's Philippine holidays, do you observe a long Christmas holidays?
No, we observe the same holidays that in the Philippines, like December 25, December 30. December 30 is the Rizal Day. January for the usual holidays that we have in the Philippines.
Okay, so far our okay, and how do you find the Chicago weather? I want to know.
Is it obvious?
Kami just came from you just
Hawaii?
came from Hawaii.
I think
You
having
think you can get used to it?
well, I can say that I am not surprised because I came, I live in Eastern Europe where you have similar weather, and Chicago weather is I think very challenging, but it energizes me actually. The cold weather.
Correct. Yes. So, but for a person like you, I would think it's difficult to adjust, right? Yeah. Well, it's only. I always say there's only 3 months of cold weather here, and after that, it's just spring and autumn and summer.
But
We're okay.
Yeah, but I can say that the roads here are very good, even in the middle of winter, are easily cleaned.
Oh yeah.
So the motorists have no problems.
Yeah, because Chicago is really ready, ready
Yeah.
for the big snowstorm. And some of our viewers are really interested to know what's going on in the Philippine politics. Konjen, maybe as the representative of the Philippine government, maybe you can tell us what's really going on.
despite slowdown in the in the international economy, the Philippines has been really growing. It has enjoyed 6% economic growth. The people are, the peso is very strong, and the tourists are coming in. We just hosted the Miss Universe pageant a year ago, and I think there's a lot of international events in the Philippines. You know, if there's something wrong in the Philippines, tourists will not be coming, and our peso would have been very weak. But investors are coming. In fact, we have this project, infrastructure project, the build, which we are promoting to our foreign investors. In fact, including here in the United States. And I also want to plug in that sometime next month, we will have the economic managers of the Philippines, no less than Secretary Domingo, who will be also holding a briefing to, investors, those interested to do business in the Philippines. Because what we need now is to build, improve the infrastructure in the Philippines to make
The
it more
infrastructure,
conducive
correct.
for
Yes.
foreign investors. So these are things that would really provide long-term dividends to the ordinary Filipinos. That would make our country a more, more investors coming. That means more jobs for the ordinary Filipinos. So it's not short-term but long-term. We also enjoy good roads, good airports, safe airports, more hospitals. This is what we need. So we are inviting, really, the Philippine government is really keen on, improving the economy and make Philippines a more investor-friendly country.
Oh, Conchen, speaking of airports, you think they're really the Philippine government is really doing something uh, to improve the airport, the Philippine
Yeah.
airports, the most of all the NAIA, because I've read an article before that the Philippine airports is one of the five worst airports in the world.
No, but perhaps that was long time ago because there was, in fact, even the Federal Aviation authorities in the United States always had this close coordination with our airport authorities, and we are in the, we have our airports are cleared as far as safety procedures. That's why Philippine Airlines was able to fly direct now to many cities here in the United States, New York, San Francisco, Honolulu, because there is a sort of what the Philippine airports are now at par with the international standards. That's what I can say. So I
Good.
don't know
Well,
when
that's
that.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Maybe I can. It was just a recent article, but anyway,
Well,
it's nice. It's
yeah,
really
yeah. I can.
nice to hear that there's a lot of improvement in our airport. I mean, that's NAIA. I think that we're talking about the Ninoy Aquino Airport.
Yeah, I think maybe what they're talking about are maybe what a very the area that's why right now we are expanding, we are building more airports. I think we are developing Clark as also another major
Another
hub.
airport.
Yeah, I think it's more on
Hub.
expansion, the need to expand, because the traffic is really increasing, more and more uh planes coming in, more people, so we
How
need to
about
expand.
the infrastructure? There's a lot of things to really do with the Philippine infrastructure.
Yeah, as I said, that's why we had this big project of President, the build to build more roads, bridges, and airports, modernize our airports. So it's a work in progress, really. And but so far, compared with 10 years ago, we have more modern hospitals right now. In fact, we are one of our major thrusts is medical tourism. Many of the
Yes.
foreigners come to the
Yes.
Philippines for state of the art
Yes.
healthcare, and at a very low cost.
Low cost.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So I think we should be
Uh-huh.
proud what we have achieved so far. Uh, and one thing, we didn't borrow. You know,
No.
no, we are
All
out of the
right.
debt. We are already past the stage where we have a lot of debts. no, we rely on our own tax revenues, and our fiscal, our fiscal system is very stable. And it's like, when you in a family, your budget is good. You don't spend above your means, so it's very good housekeeping.
Actually, to tell you the truth, President Duterte and really reminds me of our current president in the U.S., President Trump.
Why?
And in mannerism and the great work that they're doing for the country.
Yeah.
And so
And he has a high popular support.
mhm,
The rating
yeah,
is increasing.
I guess it depends upon which publications you're reading. Too, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same all over. Conjen, with a short period of stay here in Chicago, it seems that you are such a very active consul general.
Thank you.
Yeah. So far, what projects have you done for our community?
Well, as I said, I've been here a year, but I'm always like always running, as if time is cannot be wasted. So, I have launched this Midwest Youth Leaders Immersion Program, because remember, during the meet and greet where I met the first time I arrived, I promised to have more engagement with the second and third generation of Filipinos. So we launched that You Lead project, where early this year, we sent 12 youth aged 16 to 25 years to the Philippines. And they had a very good experience. I think it was a life-changing experience for them to rediscover their Filipino roots. And by the way, these young people are born and raised here in the United States. So it was very important for them to rediscover, or if they rediscover and have a more appreciation of their Filipino heritage. And we will be launching again the second edition of that You Lead Immersion next year.
Okay,
And,
with Conjen's first meet and greet, which was held when?
that was January
You know
in the
what?
Philippine Consulate.
Yes, I don't know if you read my article about that. I was really very impressed with that meet and greet that you did in the Philippine Consulate, how you were able to transform that room into some kind of hotel's cocktail area. I was really impressed with the bar, with nice buffet style food serving. Really, Konjen, how did you do that?
I think it with creativity, and with limited funds.
Yeah, with limited fund.
With limited funds, I think, and also, of course, it's a collective effort. I get ideas from the staff and how we do, and based on my experience abroad also.
Don't you think it was because she's a woman?
Perhaps. But
She's a woman. For the Women's History Month, of course.
Yeah.
I think it was only a woman because I've been here for ages.
mm-hmm.
And I've never seen that consulate transform into something like that at all.
Thank you. I read that article, and I was really I sent a copy of that to my home office.
Great, terrific. Because, I really observe. And congratulations for that.
Thank you. And
Also, your latest project, which I'm sorry I was not able to attend, was about the Paskuhan.
oh, yes, yes.
It's a community Paskuhan. It was a Christmas celebration here in Chicago. That Paskuhan, you were able to gather together some community leaders.
20 organizations.
And so tell us about that. So many people out there were not able to attend.
Okay. Actually, that really it's something that is we have something in common. Christmas celebration. It's something that I think it's something that brings out the best in us. And I'm sure many of us are nostalgic about Christmas in the Philippines. So I said maybe at least once a year we can gather together all those who are willing to join me. So for the first I think for the first months I made out an invitation, a public call to all organizations who wants to join in the planning committee for that project. And after that we had a meeting, and I think after that I issued again another call for those who might have missed my first announcement. And after the second announcement, we sat down and worked, and we we, we organized a committee. And you know what I like about that is everybody work. It's like we're one family, and I'm just the mother. Say a mother, or I'm just a
Yeah,
conductor.
you're the mother.
I'm just the conductor, and everybody. And what is nice about that, our resources were pooled voluntarily on that. It's the work of. We didn't have many sponsors. It's really a bayanihan spirit, and perhaps next year, if we have more organization, we can also find a bigger venue. And it turned out to be successful. I mean, in terms of the participation, and everybody was happy. And it was also the
Yeah.
first time we had the Simbang Gabi at
Uh-huh.
Seafood City. I also wish to thank the Seafood City for their, generous support all the time for our activities.
Maybe next time you can hold it at our result center. Was the result center? I think
Yeah,
that
why
would
not?
be
Yeah.
enough.
But that will
Um,
be the decision of I haven't called for the first meeting yet, because I think maybe by spring or summer I will start the initial meetings.
wow. So far, Conjen, you are really doing a great job in our community. I've been hearing some positive feedbacks out there
Thank
about
you.
you.
I
Eh,
think I can. It's just for me. It's a way of giving back. I'm here. I think all of us, all the consul generals, are here for a reason, and I'm using whatever time I have, all my resources, all my staff, to to reach out to everybody. Well, I cannot go to all the events. I try as much as possible to go to all the events,
All
big or small,
right. All right.
because I want them to know that I'm here. The Philippine Consulate is here. You
for
may
your
not.
services. Okay, the
Yeah, the
services of the
services.
Philippine Consulate. Most of all, I know a lot of questions about dual citizenship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
But
the door is open for you, whatever purposes you have to go to the Philippine Consulate. Most of all, the dual citizenship. Conjen, before we sign off, please talk about the dual
Yeah,
citizenship.
before the dual citizen, Miss Veronica, and I plug in also, we will also be doing the overseas absentee voting this come, because we
Oh,
have this
correct.
senatorial elections on May 13 in the Philippines. So I'm inviting those who are registered overseas voters here to to once you receive your ballot, it will be mailed to you. Please send them back by mail so that you can also, you know, vote at least by ballot, and make a difference in the elections. Because
Correct.
so far we have registered more than 20,000
So,
registrants here
what
in
kind of election will be?
mail voting.
Oh, no, no, no. What I'm saying is
Senator.
senatorial.
Yeah, Philippine
Okay.
Senate.
It's
And
not presidential yet.
no, not yet.
Okay. Okay. 6 years, right? Six
Yeah,
years
yeah,
term of
yeah.
office. Senatorial. And others? Congressional or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, House of the Congress, senators and congressional and party list representatives.
Okay. And how
Mm-hmm.
about the dual citizenship? So many
Mm-hmm.
questions about this.
Uh-huh.
Well, many people want to be dual citizens, and
Okay.
yet they
Yeah.
are having a difficult time uh, meeting the requirements.
Well, of all the countries I've known, the Philippines has the easiest and the most convenient country where you can apply for dual citizenship. We only need your personal appearance, and you take your oath before a consul. But prior to that, the requirements are just a copy, if you are already a naturalized U.S. citizen, a copy of your old Philippine passport and proof of your U.S. citizenship, because you might not still be a U.S. citizen, you're still a Filipino citizen. So we need proof that you are already a foreign citizen or U.S. citizen. And then that's it, and you pay a
How
$50
about
fee.
how about the birth certificate problem?
Well, if you don't have a Philippine passport, an old Philippine passport, you can also bring a birth certificate, issued by the NSO, National Statistics Office, which you
Yeah,
can
that's the
get
one I think.
online, which you can file
You can
online.
find
Yeah.
online.
But I think if you have an old Philippine passport, so my advice to those Filipinos who have been naturalized, please don't lose your old Philippine passport. You might need them,
We've already lost it a long time ago.
See? Because that will really very convenient, because if you have that, your requirements will be less,
Oh,
will
okay. If you
be
have an
fewer.
old Philippine passport, you don't have to have a birth certificate?
Well, it depends on the kind of passport you have. If you
Oh,
have the newer version of the Philippine passport, the blue one, uh, we don't need anymore the the birth certificate. But if you have this old version, the green and the brown ones, so we will need, because we will need the birth
I
certificate.
guess. I guess that was the
But
problem.
but if really, we, as I said to my staff, as much as possible, we don't want to burden them with a lot of requirements. So if they can apply without submitting a birth certificate, if they have a Philippine passport, old Philippine passport, and all other requirements, we don't see any problem.
All right. You heard it from the host's mouth. But I think those people that we met
Yeah.
or having a problem is just like us. I think when we came here 50 some years ago, we were carrying
Mm,
the old passport. And then we don't even know we have the old passport, right?
yeah. So as I say, if you
So
don't have the old passport, I think we will need a birth
the birth
certificate.
certificate. That's
Yes.
I think that's the problem,
Yeah.
big problem. Well, anyway, Conjin, this is an engaging conversation with you. Oh my God, I look at the clock and we're doing this overtime. Anyway, one last word from you before we sign off.
Okay, thank you, Miss Veronica. It's been a pleasure serving our kababayans here in Chicago and the Midwest. In all my travels in the other states, I am really very heartened by the warm reception and and the friendship I have enjoyed so far with all my kababayan. Please have patience, and to be updated on the latest announcements. Please open our Philippine website, chicagopcg.com, or we also have a Facebook, and we also have a Twitter. Please visit this website so that you are, updated on the latest announcements, events that we have. It's all a matter of information, believe me. Information is power. So
Correct.
if you have that information, never go wrong.
Correct. Correct ka dyan, Conjen. All right.
Yeah.
Conjen,
Thank you.
thank
Salamat
you
po.
so much for gracing our show today. It was such an enjoyable moment speaking with our Consul General, Gina Jamoralin. And if I enjoyed it, I hope you also enjoyed it. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood mga kababayan at enjoy the rest of your weekend.